Are we going?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. My name's Cecilia. Nice to meet you. So I'm a social worker here at Community Health. Everything we say here between us is confidential. So the goal, I'll just explain to you my role. So I can offer you guys 8 sessions together with me, and our goal is to have a look at what some problems that might be present in your lives and working towards resolving those. So can you tell me a bit about what's happening in your lives at the moment?
Well, I've asked Tony to come in today because I heard about your men's health program.
Okay.
For me, I'm at my sort of wit's end because he's drinking heavily, and we've got issues with our kids, and I'm just really struggling to cope, and he's not really around. If he's around, he's drinking, so yeah,
Okay.
I'm kind of fed up.
So I hear drinking heavily. Can you describe, Tony, how much you would drink each week? Each day?
Oh, this is all a bit weird, isn't it? I wouldn't say heavily. A few beers on the weekend, like
Okay.
a lot of people.
A few, what's a few?
Be honest.
Carton, I suppose, over a couple of days.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday.
It's often a carton a day.
Right, so it's confined to the weekends and about a carton on Friday, Saturday, so 2 cartons across the weekend.
I work pretty late on weeknights, so I don't really drink on weeknights.
Okay, so I'm hearing that you don't really think that that's an excessive amount of alcohol, that's not really a problem?
Some people probably, get a bit over concerned about these things, but
I think your heart disagrees.
Okay, tell me about your heart.
well, it's still beating, isn't it?
Have you had some recent health issues?
It's been a long time since I was playing footy or anything like that, so I'm not exactly a fit bloke anymore. But I went to the GP and he said maybe I could cut back a bit recently.
You never go to the doctor ever.
Okay,
so for you to go to the GP, you must have known that there was something wrong.
Okay, so the GP identified a heart issue and he linked that to the drinking, did he? Did he advise you to cut down on the drinking?
Well, he said, I think it was pretty standard stuff, like, okay, I was a bit short of breath and that kind of thing, but...
Chest pains.
Okay, so there is a bit of a health concern.
And like anyone, who says, maybe drop a few kilos, maybe, have a few less beers.
Okay, so you don't see it as quite as seriously as your wife, so you're concerned about his health.
Yeah, I am very concerned about his health.
And you would like him to stop drinking?
No, I don't think he's ever going to stop drinking. I just need him to cut back and be be a part of this family again, because I'm tired of being the one to carry everything.
Right, so you feel the drinking is impacting on your family. How? Can you tell me a bit more about that?
His drinking?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when he's not working on the weekend, he's drinking, and so then he's either just sitting watching the TV or sleeping or drinking. There's no involvement, like there's no offers to do something with me or with our kids or help me around the house or anything like that. He just comes home and it's just all about him.
We both enjoy a drink.
So how much would you drink?
I'll have a glass in the evening with dinner. I'll have a glass of wine.
Okay, so most people wouldn't see that as excessive drinking, whereas how much you're consuming, yes, doctors are concerned, and that would normally be seen as excessive. So I heard your wife talking about the negative impacts on the family, and that things are different and not in a good way on the weekends. So if you're comparing the weekdays to the weekends, you would say that he's much more engaged during the week?
No, he's at work.
And
Then he comes home
evenings?
and he said he works late, so he comes home and goes to bed.
Okay. All right. So how long have you been drinking this much? Is it something that's increased rapidly? Like,
No, how long's a piece
Oh,
of string?
it's about the last 18 months. It's been this much.
about 18 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything major that happened 18 months ago to cause you to start drinking more?
Oh, well, it's been pretty difficult over that time. Our son has always been a challenge for us, but with our daughter starting uni and then some people, obsessing about where everybody's at and, worrying that, things are going wrong. I think everybody's been a bit more stressed.
Okay. So I'm hearing the drinking as a major concern. Outside of that, can you tell me, is there anything else particularly worrying for yourself? Is there anything you're worried about? I can hear your wife's worried about your health and drinking. What about you?
I mean, people talk about drinking being a problem. What about stress? What about anxiety? People chasing after everybody. We've been, like, our daughter is going to uni like a million other kids. This year.
Well, that's the problem. She's not going to uni like a million other kids. She's not going.
Why isn't she going?
I think she's depressed. She's gained weight. She doesn't leave the house. She just plays games, watch TV. She doesn't want to defer her uni, but she's not going. So there's issues there as well.
Right. Are you concerned about that too, Tony? About your daughter not attending uni?
I'm not so concerned that I need to be on her case all the time and, probably making it worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kids go to uni, kids pass uni, they fail uni, they try it out, they see what works. I mean, not everybody's going to be, a professor.
But this is so typical of you. Everything to you is, oh, whatever, just, go with the flow. You've actually got to, this is why I get anxious and stressed, because everybody's just going, well, whatever, but life's happening. We can't just keep going, whatever. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. Drinking 2 cartons on a weekend is not a big deal.
Okay, let's just
Will it be a big deal when you have a heart attack and end up in ICU? Do we need to wait for that?
Okay, again, we're hearing the concern around the drinking. If we could just move away from that for a moment, and what I'm hearing is that you're more concerned than Tony is about your daughter's situation.
Which concerns me. Why am I more concerned? Why am I the only one?
All right,
Exactly.
so maybe somewhat of a problem here is this gap between you see your wife as being overly concerned, whereas you see him being not concerned enough. So there's a bit of a bridge there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so and tell me about your son.
Well,
You mentioned he had some
Henry,
problems.
yeah, he's got severe schizophrenia. And so he's had multiple episodes of psychosis and had to be hospitalised. And I'm always having to be aware just be looking out for signs that he might be going downhill, which is very stressful, because everybody else is just whatever. And I've had to call the hospital and have him hospitalised on a number of occasions because of that. And I've, managed to catch it.
Okay, and yourself, is your son's health one of your major concerns?
Oh, it's really tough. I mean, this isn't a new thing. We've been dealing with Henry, and his problems for a long time. And maybe with the work hours and that kind of thing, I haven't been able to spend time with him, and helping him and, as Sonia says, looking for those signs. But I mean, I'd like to think that my work and the late hours has been, doing my bit as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So you're enjoying your work?
Whoever enjoys it.
Okay, so it's paying the bills, your financial there's not really major concerns around finances in the family?
No, we're okay, as
Okay.
far as that's concerned.
And your work?
Yeah, I'm working.
And you enjoy your work?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So she loves her work, but the last few months we're talking about, maybe you'll cut back or maybe leave, to help our daughter. And I just think that's crazy. Like, talk about feeling stressed and upset now when you don't have work and you love your work. You're going to leave that too? Jeez.
So how would you feel about leaving your job? Would you feel like you would be able to take better care of your children? Is that?
I just feel that that's the only option. And he's right. I don't want to. I feel like I'm being punished. I feel like I'm being punished for being a good mother, for trying to take care of my kids. Like, it's ridiculous.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is perhaps there's a bit of a need in the family for some added support. Can you talk to me about your parents? What kind of family support do you have around your family?
Yeah, my dad's overseas, and my sister, we don't really have a lot of contact. We don't have a lot of family support here.
Okay.
None.
Yep. Okay. All right. So that's something that maybe we could look at improving. There might be some services we can offer to help support with your son if he's difficult to manage, challenging. How about your relationship between yourselves? Do you feel like, that's strong, or you've you spending not enough time together?
No, it's become very combative. It's like, I feel like it's you versus me all the time.
You agree? Okay. And what are the things that you would normally fight about then?
Alcohol.
Alcohol, definitely. Okay.
Kids.
Kids, yeah. Okay. So alcohol and kids are these common themes that I'm hearing. So if we had to think about the most significant problems, the things that you worry the most about, and I guess when you're fighting about things, they tend to be the things that are the biggest problems. So would I be right in saying that the alcohol is probably one of the biggest problems for you guys, and also sort of the children and caring for the children and the issues with the children?
Well, imagine coming home, you come off a late shift and then you're basically bombarded with all the problems, all the things that are going wrong, and then all of the blame for not being there. I mean, and to the point where you almost physically seize up, like you want to talk about, people having chest pains or whatever. I mean, to have that and to have to experience that, and then can you blame someone for having a beer after on the weekend?
Are you still having those chest pains?
I don't know if I really want to talk about that.
Okay. All right. So health is obviously a major concern here too, and the alcohol isn't having a good impact on your health. That's undeniable. That's simple fact. So we can minimise the amount of alcohol and what have you, but
It's the first time I've heard you say that. Like, actually admit that it could be a problem.
Yeah, excessive alcohol equals health issues. It's undeniable. So I appreciate you recognising that at least. And in terms of our goal here really is to identify, we can't move mountains. We're not asking you to stop drinking tomorrow. There's massive problems and we need to chip away at them and make little baby steps. That's the best way to achieve anything. So if we were looking at the doctor said to you, advised you to reduce your drinking. So, there's a couple of ways of doing that. You could say, okay, I am now drinking 24 stubbies in a 24-hour period on a weekend. I'm going to cut that back to 18 stubbies for the next month. Alternatively, and what I think is a great idea, is for every stubby that you drink, if you could just pop a glass of water in between. So we're just spanning out your drinks a little bit, and you're not really thinking about having to cut back on your drinking that way. Is that something you think you could do, just to have a glass of water in between each beer?
You happy to pay for the plumber's bill?
Water's free-ish.
Well, I mean,
It's a fairly simple.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it. I
Okay.
could do it. Is it going to make any difference?
We'll see, won't we?
Wow. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think for me the biggest thing is just that you acknowledge that the alcohol's having an effect on your health.
Mhm.
And I don't care what you do as long as you do something.
Okay, so that would be something. That's wonderful. So if you agree to that, and would that make you happy? He can span out his drinking. Hopefully that will result in less studies in that time period just by getting that water
Yeah,
in.
because I'd like to spend more time with you and just, have some, remember us.
Mhm.
And I can't do that if you're drunk. I know you're happy drunk. I know you, there's no, it's not about you getting drunk, but when you are drunk, there's nothing, you can't do anything with you.
Okay, so he's heard your concerns around the alcohol, and we've got a step forward, a little step to alleviate that a little bit. Now, I know that you came here with the men's health program in mind, and you thought that that might be a good thing for Tony to be involved in. Is that something you've discussed together already? Do you know much about the men's health program?
No, not really. I just sort of came today.
Yeah, okay, no problem. So what I might do is, I actually agree, and your GP would agree, the men's health program covers a whole lot of things. It's not an AA meeting, we're not sitting around talking about alcohol. It's just focused on general lifestyle factors and things you can do just to be a healthier person. And, so I understand that you might not want to commit to going to the first meeting right now, but would it be okay if I sent you an email with just a bit more information about it? So in future, we can have another chat about that and just see if it's of interest to you. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
Okay.
you got Sonia's email.
Wonderful. So I'll send that email. So that's the alcohol we've identified as one problem. And the second greatest problem that I kind of heard coming up was this the issue of the children and caring for them, and how that's impacted upon your relationship. So if we were to say, what would be most valuable? Would it be to have some supports come in to help you take care of your son and look at organising some counselling for your daughter, so dealing with the children? Or is it more about your relationship and putting some steps in place to start to, because you said you don't spend much time together, and you're feeling quite alone.
I don't know. I mean, I want to get to. I'd like to. I kind of think if we can ease up on these other things, then maybe the relationship might. I don't know. But right now, my priority is the kids, and for me.
So less stress around the drinking and around the children would then that would remove those issues that you tend to be fighting about that you told me. Do you agree that might be helpful? Some support with the kids and would make it less volatile between.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that would be good to have.
Yeah.
I mean, Sonia's the best support that the kids have.
Exactly.
I don't think that's replaceable.
So then we need to support her, to support the children. That would be wonderful. Okay, so if I make some inquiries around some respite services, maybe some home help services, just some support that will alleviate the burden, the load on you.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I think we need that, especially because they're getting older and my son's older. We can't keep doing it just ourselves.
Okay. All right, so I will do that. So we'll look at a session again next week. So we have 8 sessions in total together. So for next week, I will email you that document and I'll read about the men's health group. You will enjoy a refreshing glass of water between each beer. I will also inquire about some respite services. And also this week, I was wondering, I've identified 2 support services that I think might be helpful, but if you could just have a think this week about any other types of support, the areas that you really struggle in, that you find really difficult, and if you could have a think about that and come back to our next session with anything that you're struggling with.
Okay.
So this isn't just us doing stuff, you're saying
Yeah, I'm going to help. I'm going to help identify ways in which we can tackle these problems little by little. We can't, Rome wasn't built in a day. So if we all agree that by the next session we'll complete those tasks, then we're on our way to just alleviating some of the stress and pressure.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful. Do you have any questions?
No, that's fine.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks for coming in, and I'll see you again same time next week.
Thank you.
Okay.